right, so we are on our next set of notes. So as you can see, I am back to my table of contents. I've got my previous information here, and today I'm going to add in the title, direction, and distance. Like previous times, I'm going to wait for me to finish writing my notes before I add in my page numbers, just so that way I know exactly what pages I've got. So direction and distance is my title. So then I'm going to go to my next free write page. So remember, I always write on the left. You will not see me writing on the back of pages. One of the reasons for that, if you can kind of see it here on this notebook, but you can kind of see the raised bumps and the writing from the other side. So that goes through both ways. So eventually it gets a little messy if you write on your left side. Now, if you're using it for doodles, for questions, things like that, that is what we're using our left side for. Occasionally, if I give you guys warm-ups, those might go here as well. But for the most part, we mostly work with the right-hand side. So I need to put my next page number in. My last page number that I had was page number 9 for me. Now remember, your pages might be different than mine. Okay, so keep that in mind. So for me, that's 9. So this would be page 11. And I need direction and distance. So, direction and distance help us to find a place's relative location. Now, we talked about relative location in our previous set of notes, but I'm going to give us a second definition because it's always good to have more than one definition for a word because it will help us to understand its meaning a little bit more. So I'm going to write relative, and I've indented a little bit here, location, and this is where I'm going to underline because I'm giving a definition, a description of how a place is related to other places. Either through the description of its direction or distance from another location. So this definition kind of takes the previous definition to the next level. So when it comes to direction and distance, in our example yesterday, and I'm going to go back to that example from yesterday, we used Flint is northeast of Lansing. With our definition here, they're also talking about distance from another location. So my two examples here, I'm going to use that previous example that I had before. Flint is northeast of Lansing. But I'm going to also add in one that is using distance from another location. So Flint is 55 miles from Lansing. So I've now got my example that we're northeast, and I've got our miles. We could also put these together. So Flint is 55 miles northeast of Lansing. Any one of these particular ones would work. Okay, those are all using relative location. Now, we do have some tools to help us in our use of direction and distance. So I'm going to go to the end again. Tools to help us. I also don't know if you noticed, but I've also skipped a line, so that way I'm creating more space. Don't be afraid to take up some space on your pages, because space will help you to find your information a little bit clearer. Now, I know I've been putting a lot of images next to the work. That way you can see how they're connected. So allowing yourself a line when going into a new idea is always helpful. It makes it clear when you've gone on to a new idea. Okay, so one of our tools to help us is going to be our compass rose. Most of the time, symbol with 4 main points that indicate the 4 cardinal means main direction, so I'm going to put that main in parentheses, main directions. North, which we usually use an N to symbolize. South, which is symbolized by an S. East, symbolized by an E. And west, symbolized by a W. Some will also show 4 intermediate or in between. So intermediate means in between, so that's in my parentheses. directions. Which are northeast, which is written in as NE, southeast, written as an SE, northwest, NW, and southwest, SW. So some of the ways that we can remember our cardinal directions is never eat soggy waffles. I've also heard never eat sour worms. There's actually quite a few out there. Whatever helps you to remember that these are north, east, south, and west. So a compass rose, I'm going to draw one on the side in my margins here. We did this in the previous notes as well. So I've got my plus sign. I'm going to also add in an X on my plus sign. I've got north, east, south, and west. Northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest. All right, so I am not going to have enough room to write my last bit here. So I'm actually going to go to a new page. And I'm going to, at the top, still put direction and distance continued, or CONT. So my last page was page 11. This is going to be page 13. Okay. So our next tool to help us is going to be a scale. And it's either going to be in miles or kilometers, kilometers. So a scale, you're either going to use miles or kilometers. The scale will use both, but how you measure it depends on which measurement we're using. So this measures the distance between 2 points on the map. How that looks is I'm going to draw a line here to start. So normally there's a starting line. And I'll often have 2 lines coming off of it. Okay. So I'll have some markers to mark the different lengths on each line. So this top line right here is going to be my distance in miles. This bottom line right here is going to be the distance in kilometers. Okay, so let's say that this right here is going to be 50 miles and this is going to be 100 miles. Okay, so they're doing this to help us see what the distance would be on a more reasonable scale. We will be talking more about how to use scale later on, how it works. We will just use this to help measure our distances. So, to use our scale, first thing that we're going to definitely need is a piece of paper or a ruler. You want a straight edge. Okay, so number one, place a straight edge. So, edge of paper or ruler along 2 points of a map. 2, mark the center of each point Then for number 3, hold the edge of your measurement. I'm going to need to erase that and put that on the next line. Tool against the scale to calculate the distance. Okay. So let's say I had a map and they gave me a scale at the bottom. I would take a piece of paper, a straight edge or a ruler. Okay. And let's say I'm looking at a map of Michigan. Okay. So I've got, say, Flint and Lansing. So on my piece of paper or my straight edge, I would mark the center of each point on my paper. I would then move it against the scale in order to calculate my distance. Okay, so that's just an example of how this will work. Okay, it's always good to have a straight line as well. So that is all of our notes for direction and distance. So my pages were page 11 and 13. So I'm going to go back to my table of contents. 11 through 13 is my direction and distance.